Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maddie, and my current focus here at NVIDIA is on driving our KPIs and metrics and maximizing the value of our AI investments.
And my name is Raghu, and my focus is on providing the best employee experience to our NVIDIA employees by using the ServiceNow platform. Okay, thank you all for joining, and I hope you're all having a fantastic conference so far. And I hope that you will find our talk insightful, useful, and as exciting as hitting a straight flush on a poker table.
We asked to present earlier this week, but they said they had to save the best for last. And I'm not talking about Gwen Stefani at the Sphere tonight, guys.
There you go. Okay, so AI is at the core of everything that we do at NVIDIA, and we are fully committed to AI innovation. In partnership with ServiceNow, we have an excellent opportunity to demonstrate to our CIO how our strategic AI investments are able to derive the measurable results and deliver business value. In today's talk, we will show how we are using the AI and GenAI capabilities to improve our employee experience and provide organizational value. We will go through the key highlights that we experienced as we went through implementing these AI capabilities. We'll also talk about the challenges and the difficulties that we ran into and how we overcame these challenges. And most important of all, we will talk about how we were able to generate significant organizational value within the first year of investment in these capabilities.
So we will start today by walking you through our ticket journey, where we are utilizing several AI and GenAI capabilities to transform our ticketing journey and deliver value through each stage. Next, we'll talk about the different features we are leveraging and its impact for the various personas that we have within IT. From there, we'll touch on why having the right KPIs is crucial to measuring the success of these features, and how a focus on adoption is critical to realizing their full potential. We'll conclude today by walking you through the value we have realized so far and talk about our next steps moving forward.
According to the Boston Consulting Group, only 25% of the companies have the necessary expertise to move beyond the POC stage and deliver any tangible value. And less than 5% of the companies have the capability to derive any significant and consistent value. And many of these challenges come from people and the existing processes that were put in place in the last few years before this AI boom came over. So here are some of the key challenges that we ran into that we want to highlight. This is not a comprehensive list, but these are some things that we want to highlight because we went into these challenges and we take some steps to overcome these challenges. Comprehending and realizing the full potential of GenAI and AI capabilities is very hard without having the right data and the right metrics. And it's very hard to define these metrics, specifically in this AI and GenAI environment. And also, these technologies keep changing so fast that we have to continuously redefine our KPIs and metrics, and we have to continuously tweak them to adjust to the new reality. Another challenge that we ran into was having the right level of expertise. So we have to find the right data engineers, right data scientists, to make sure that we are able to implement these complex technologies within our environment. And these systems are so complex that we had to really dig deeper into our current processes and integrate these capabilities into the existing processes. Another challenge that we had to overcome was of course the adoption. Without the adoption, it's very hard to realize the full potential of these different capabilities that we have. And one of the things that we ran into is that as we are delivering these capabilities in our environment, as we are putting them in production, we had a big challenge in how these get adopted. Unless we are fully engaged with the users who are using these capabilities, we were not getting full adoption. So we had to take some time, dig deeper into what the challenges were, and come up with the necessary adjustments to make sure that we are adopting them the right way. And the other thing that we also focused on was having a continuous feedback loop with the users, because we also got a lot of feedback from the users that had to be incorporated in the existing processes and the models so that we could refine the processes so that it also suits our fulfillers or the agents. The other challenge that we had to overcome was how do we calculate these values? We had a strong partnership with ServiceNow, and we had to really go back and forth on how we will calculate them, because we already had established some KPIs which could not have been used with this new AI and GenAI capabilities. So we literally had to work with them, tweak the data, tweak the formulas, how we calculate them, adjust it to our NVIDIA specific data, and we had to come up with these templates of the formulas. And we had to automate them because we don't want to be repeating them manually every time we want to calculate. Then also, we had to come up with the right level of visualization. For that, we had to literally start and learn how the performance analytics works. And eventually, we were able to get through that hurdle, and we were able to align with all of our stakeholders how the data would be represented so that everyone is speaking the same language and understanding the same metrics.
So let's take a look at our ticket journey, the creation, assignment, and resolution process. So this journey begins when our employees go to our employee portal and search for some sort of information. Once our users search, we have several AI and GenAI capabilities enabled, such as Now Assist, AI Search, and Contextual Search. So as our users search, the Now Assist results populate first. This is a summary of information. Below that, we have our AI search results, which consist of our knowledge articles and request catalogs. These populate in order of relevancy. Alternatively, if our users do not want to search, they can go to file a ticket. Within this ticket, we have contextual search enabled. So once the user puts the information in and presses enter, contextual search provides information for them to self-solve. Once this information is provided, we're trying to deflect the tickets. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have two current forms for tickets. So we have one for requests and one for incidents. We're currently working on a universal request, which has our auto classification model enabled. So as a user goes to, let's just say that they are explaining something that's broken, auto classification will go ahead and create an incident for them. If a user is requesting something like software, the correct catalog will be provided for them to go ahead and fill out and submit their ticket. Actually, we do have some of our small and medium complexity requests automated through RPA bots and the ServiceNow Flow Designer. And for any other requests, a general IT request will be submitted for them. So now we are at the part in the journey where a ticket has been created, and it is either a request or an incident. This is where our auto help model kicks in. So after the ticket is created, our auto help model provides knowledge-based assistance for the users to self-solve. Once this information is provided, our users have the opportunity to close the ticket with one click or route it to the right resolver. This auto help model will help resolve around 30% of our tickets, which would have been handled by Service Desk and our SRO teams.
For the rest of the 70% of the tickets that were not getting resolved through auto help, it just goes to the rest of the process. So here, at this stage, we have introduced two new models, the auto categorization and auto routing. These are based on the predictive intelligence capability provided by the ServiceNow platform. The auto categorization, what it does is that it assigns the ticket to the right business service, service offering, category, and it assigns the right priority so that the fulfillers can react appropriately. Then auto routing, what it does is that it assigns the ticket to the right resolver group. By introducing these two models, we were able to auto route at least 77% of our general IT tickets. And the other thing that we were able to do was that the first FCR, the first contact resolution, went up all the way down from 45 to 75%. That is a pretty significant increase. And two other key highlights that we have as a result of introducing these two models is that our MTTR for our service desk went all the way down from 2 days to 1 day. This is unheard of even in the industry. And we did that while maintaining a CSAT of 99%. And our CSAT typically ranges anywhere between 93 to 95%. Now we are at a point where the ticket is assigned to the right resolver group, and the fulfiller is able to pick it up. Here what we have done is that we enabled the service operating workspace earlier this year. And in addition to that, we have also integrated this SOW with the Microsoft Teams. And we are currently working on doing that similarly with Slack. What it allows is that the fulfillers are now able to communicate to the users without leaving the whole SOW, where he has all the wealth of information available to him. Then as a next step, again, we have introduced 2 new models in here during the issue resolution or resolving process. This is the incident summarization and incident resolution. In the incident summarization, what we do is that with a single click of a button, a fulfiller is able to get a summary of all the history of the ticket, and this is very useful specifically when the ticket gets passed from one fulfiller to the another for whatever reason. And similarly, we also introduced incident resolution, by where once the ticket is resolved, the fulfiller, with a single click of a button, he is able to provide create a whole resolution, which typically the fulfillers, of course, they don't like to do. And this is also very useful for the next fulfiller who is trying to resolve similar incidents.
So now that the ticket has been closed, our fulfillers have the opportunity to use the knowledge generation tool to enhance our knowledge base. So the knowledge generator creates an initial draft of the article, which our fulfillers can then review and edit before publishing. Additionally, after we close every ticket, we send out a survey to our users to gather feedback and gauge their satisfaction. Currently, our survey response rate is around 10%, and for the rest of the 90%, we're able to gauge their satisfaction by using the sentiment analysis tool. As you can see, this tool is utilized in every step of the ticket journey. This allows our fulfillers to take action before a DSAT happens.
And we have enabled this sentiment analysis at multiple levels. We look at the granular ticket level, where the fulfiller is able to react, but we also look at the much more aggregate level, where a service owner is able to react to the sentiment that we are getting at an aggregate sentiment at a service level or a business service level. So the key takeaway from this whole journey is that we have enabled AI and GenAI capabilities at each step of the process. Our focus is on avoiding any tickets. So first, our focus is to make sure that we can deflect as many tickets as possible. So what it means is that when a user comes to our portal, he is able to find the information that he is looking for. And this is done through deflection. That's focus number 1. Second, if we are not able to deflect any tickets, we want to maximize as much as automation we can for the tickets that are getting created. This is where all these tools are working in tandem that Maddie has already talked about. For the rest of the tickets that cannot either be deflected or automated, we would like those to be resolved as soon as possible by these fulfillers.
So let's take a look at the different features and their impact on the various personas we have here in IT. As you can see, the features in green are what we currently have in production, while the features in blue are what we have in a development or pilot program. So for our fulfillers, AI helps resolve issues faster and provide better support by automating their routine tasks and providing intelligent insights. For our process owners, AI helps deliver faster value to our end users by streamlining their workflows and automating their processes. Lastly, for our end users, AI provides intelligent service delivery by providing better and faster answers and resolutions. These technologies have truly transformed the way that we resolve tickets and provide satisfaction to our users. Moving forward, we do plan to expand our personas to include developers as well.
So having the right KPIs or the key performance indicator is essential to realizing the full potential of the capabilities that we have implemented and measuring the value. So here is the top 10 KPIs that we have come up with in IT, and we have aligned with all the stakeholders. And all these KPIs fall into the three main buckets: speed, how fast we want to resolve the issue; cost, how efficiently we want to do this thing while maintaining a top CSAT, preferably close to 99% or more. In addition to coming up with these key KPIs, what we have also done is that we have come up with the baselines for all of these metrics, and we have come up with the targets for these metrics. And we have like a monthly operational reviews where we review these metrics diligently to make sure that they are going in the right direction. And on top of that, we have also like sliced and diced these metrics to look at even more granular level. So for example, we look at these same metrics at organizational level, we look at the region-wide level, even at the country-wide level. And on top of that, we are also looking at, okay, how do these metrics track at the service desk, SRO level, and also at the fulfiller level, in which case some of the NVIDIA employees resolve these tickets. So having the right KPIs is a start. Then to realize the full potential of the capabilities, we want to make sure that the capabilities that we are putting in production are really getting adopted by our end users. We look at adoption in multiple ways. We look at the breadth of the adoption, the depth of the adoption, the duration, how long they have been getting adopted, and we also look at segmentation. In the breadth of the adoption, what we do is that we look at how the different AI and GenAI capabilities are getting used across all the users within our organization. And we do that for all the capabilities across. In the depth, what we look at is that how frequently these capabilities are getting used. Okay, are these getting used initially, then the usage wears off or not? So that is one of the challenges that we ran into, and for that we have to come up with very specific actions to make sure that they are getting adopted consistently. Then we also look at how soon these metrics are getting adopted, not the metrics, how soon these
features,
capabilities
yes,
are getting adopted, and whether they are getting traction completely or not. And it does take time for some of these features to get adopted. The reason for that is the users are not familiar with how to use these capabilities, and they need to be trained properly. And we also have a continuous feedback loop that I mentioned earlier, so that we are continuously tweaking this and making sure that they are getting used the way they're supposed to. So here what we are showing is two different examples, which is incident summarization and resolution. And the reason for showing this is that we want to show like how we are diligently breaking these metrics down by the team level and the different things that we are measuring. So for example, we are looking at how many tickets are getting summarized, and what the MTTR is for the tickets that are getting summarized, and what the MTTR for which they are not. Similarly, we are also looking at the CSAT. In some of the cases, we may not see the results the way we want them to see. So for example, the MTT, even though the tickets are getting summarized, the MTTR could be going in the wrong direction. So that helps us go deep dive into the data and come up with the necessary actions to take to make sure that we are able to figure out why exactly that is happening and take appropriate actions.
Okay, so let's take a look at how we're calculating the value, starting with predictive intelligence. So we have two features, auto routing and auto categorization, both which utilize XGBoost models. So for these two features, we are measuring multiple metrics, such as mean time to resolve and fulfill, CSAT, first contact resolution, and reassignment count. The metric we are using to calculate value is time saved. So we are calculating value by multiplying the number of auto-routed and auto-categorized tickets by time saved. Based on our internal data, we are seeing around 7 minutes saved per auto-routed ticket and 2 minutes saved per auto-categorized ticket. To calculate the dollar value, we are using a sample of 100,000 tickets per year and a fulfiller hourly rate of $40. we are taking a very conservative approach here, as some resolver groups may have an hourly rate of around $100. But with this, we are seeing $300,000 in value for auto routing and $116,000 in value for auto categorization per year. Okay, so let's take a look at our Now Assist features. For incident summarization, incident resolution, and sentiment analysis, we are still using time saved. To calculate the value for incident summarization and incident resolution, we are using our fulfillers' reading and writing rates. With this, we're seeing an impact of around 11 minutes saved per summarization and 5 minutes saved per resolution notes generated. This brings us to a yearly value of around $250,000 for incident summarization and $230,000 for incident resolution. Earlier, I mentioned that sentiment analysis is utilized at each stage of the ticket journey. We're saving around 5 minutes per sentiment call, bringing us to a value of around $270,000 per year. Moving on to search. So for search, we are calculating the value for both our requesters and our fulfillers. Our requesters are receiving value through time saved. So for our Now Assist search results that populate at the top, we're saving around 4.5 minutes per search. For the AI search results that populate below, we're saving around 2.5 minutes. This brings us to a value of almost $800,000 per year. Our fulfillers are seeking value through the tickets that are deflected. And based on our internal data, we are seeing around 5% of tickets being deflected through searches. This brings us to a value of around $1.2 million. And lastly, for our auto-fulfilled tickets, our requesters are again seeking value through time saved, and we're automating around 12,000 tickets per year, saving 5 minutes per ticket, accumulating to around $100,000 in value per year. Our fulfillers are seeking value through tickets deflected, which is around 12,000 tickets per year. And we are not claiming a dollar value here, as we have switched from one RPA bot to the ServiceNow Flow Designer.
The combined projected value and annual value of our platform features, that includes Now Assist, AI, PI, and few others, comes to about $3.3 million per year. And again, this is based on a sample of 100,000 tickets per year. This shows the significant impact and the value that the different AI and GenAI capabilities are providing to our organization. By automating and optimizing the various steps of the processes that we shared earlier, we are able to save costs, at the same time reduce time, and also provide significant organizational value. So what's next? So as Maddie mentioned earlier, like we have few of the features that are still either in development or in POC. As we want to maximize the value coming from the different AI features, our goal is to put these features in production as soon as possible, once we realize that we are seeing good results in our POC efforts. Then the other thing that we at NVIDIA try to continue to insist on is we want to make sure that we are fostering innovation in our employees. We don't want to wait for a perfect solution. Once we see gaps in our processes, we want to be able to test small, but move fast, put the capabilities and POCs, see the results. Once they are positive, then we promote them to production. And as we mentioned earlier, adoption is one of the things that we have to do, that we have to continue to focus on. So this would be our continued focus. So in summary, our AI journey so far has been transformative, but we are not done yet. We are still in the early innings of the whole game. By continued focus on all these three things, we expect to maximize and realize the full and true potential of the different AI capabilities that we are putting in our environment.